Good evening, K-Squid listeners. Good evening, Santa Cruz, Monterey, Central Coast, and beyond. My name is Luigi Oppido, owner-operator of Pleasure Point Computers right by the beach here in beautiful Santa Cruz, California. And for the next hour, I am your tour guide into a world of wonder, magic, information, and... gosh, a lot of frustration. That's right, we're talking about the internet and the world of computing. I am your computer man. Welcome to one of the most helpful, friendly tech counters I hope you've ever visited. I'd like to welcome you to your Tuesday night, to your local radio station, your local KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid, 90.7 FM, also online at 89.5, 89.7 FM, and always online at ksqd.org, as well as our new app, downloaded, available at the Google Play and Apple App Stores right now for free. Take it anywhere that you can connect to the global internet. So cool to have, and we're so lucky to have it. Stoked to be with you tonight. We got a lot going on. We're going to be talking about, in fact, just in the next few seconds, we're going to be talking about that flock meeting that happened, City Council meeting. Nyanko's here with us, and we're going to be going over about a little presentation with that, and I'm jazzed about it. Nyanko, dude. So good to see you.
Yes. It's been whirlwind since last Thursday when we got notice that there was a proposal on the table that was proposed by three of our city council members. Shebra Kalantari Johnson was, I guess, one of the leads behind this proposal to bring an end to the flock safety contract, these flock surveillance cameras that people are hearing about.
Yes.
That there's, I think, about 8 of them in the city of Santa Cruz and much more in the rest of the county.
Right.
But in any case, yes, everyone was really excited to hear that, yes, the city council was going to decide whether to continue with flock or cancel the contract outright, which would happen sometime between, I think, February and March. The service will end.
Okay.
But in any case, many people showed up, both online and, of course, in person, to share their voices, to make their testimony.
Awesome.
And very little of that testimony was actually in favor of flock.
Okay.
But certainly people were recognizing the work of our police officers here in Santa Cruz who put their life on the line that, protect us. They, serve and protect. And, so certainly there was a lot of recognition. And certainly a lot of commentary by people that some of them felt very, very triggered, very, very threatened by this surveillance technology, this flock technology specifically, and reason being that the flock safety company has not had a really good track record.
No, they have not.
And so, but there was one dissenter in the group, and that was Sonia Bruner, who had at the last minute put together a secondary motion that did not get a second, that wanted to continue the contract with some tightening of the reins.
Okay.
But the city council was not having it. And
Good.
So,
I think that's great.
And so the conclusion was, I have a clip here where Mayor Fred Keeley makes this statement about flock.
All right, let's load this up. This is Mayor Fred Keeley at the. This is
the city council meeting that just ended a little, or it's actually probably still in progress, just a little while ago.
2 things. One, thank you, council members, for bringing this forward. Thank you, other council members, for a thoughtful and serious conversation. Chief, thank you, and you are every man and woman that works in your department. I do think I will associate myself with my colleagues who've said, frankly, this is not about you. This is about a company we can't trust. We trust you. We don't trust them. I have held the same position on this since I've been the mayor. I voted against the flock contract. I am not over the Patriot Act, much less the reauthorization of the Patriot Act, much less this kind of thing. I think that after 9/11, we gave up an enormous amount of our civil liberties under the fear that if we didn't, things would be worse. Well, things are worse, and I think the Patriot Act and its reauthorization are a key part of that. Having said that, I think that what is in front of us is critically important, as my colleagues have said, to adopt this. Any motion that can be divided shall be divided if a member asks for it. I am not going to ask for it. reason I'm not going to ask for it is my colleagues have done a lot of work on this. I think terminating the contract is the right thing. I'm not going to ask for the question to be divided on the second issue. I don't believe that we're anywhere near being able to find some entity which can satisfy the values of this community on this issue. But if you want to give it a try, somebody wants to give it a try and see if they can do that, that's okay with me. I will probably vote against that if that ever arrives here during my remaining time as mayor on the city council. But you want to give it a try, give it a try. Clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Triguero?
Aye.
Brunner?
No.
Newsom?
Aye.
Boulder?
Aye.
O'Hara? Aye. Vice Mayor Kalantari Johnson?
Aye.
Mayor Keeley?
Aye. Motion passes and so ordered.
And there we are.
All right.
The rest is history.
Okay. So, does that mean that now these cameras are going to come down or that we're going to cancel this contract?
The contract is canceled, and hopefully the cameras will come down because, even when they're just sitting there without a contract, they're still,
recording
an active attack surface there on those things.
Absolutely.
That can be hacked by hackers or even intentionally or unintentionally accessed by Flock systems.
Yes.
Or Flock Safety, I should say. And so yeah, I think the community will not be at ease until those things are taken down or covered up. Is
I
really
agree.
what I think.
I mean, I drive 3.5 miles to work across town, and I pass 2 of them. I leave one on the way when I go down to Mission, and I get off on Morrissey, and I pass one right up there on Morrissey. And I've seen the one that is set up in the Home Depot parking lot. I mean.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing is that people can opt in to being part of the Flock Safety Cloud, and with their own Nest devices and these other privately owned Flock installations. And so the threat is not over. The threat is also there in certain neighborhoods where they want to have extra security or this sense of security, and where they want to have tight controls over who comes and who goes.
And and the technology itself in the right hands is incredibly powerful. We've seen how it's worked. There's a gentleman in town who's been robbed twice in the last month. He owns a business in town. His business has been robbed. They used those Flock cameras to see the car that was actually stolen, that was used to chum into the robbery. It is a technology in the right hands that is used well, but that is what happened. All these technologies get abused, and no matter what it is, it's like not if, but how and when. And if it's not away, it's going to be abused by somebody. It's power. It's a very powerful thing, and it's our city council people had the best intentions. They wanted to protect our people. They put in this camera system that was promised one thing, and then we hear about what the company is and their lack of safety and their lack of security and their lack of thoughtfulness and empathy and just almost ethics. So and just to hear what the CEO says about I've read a couple of the comments that the CEO of Flock says to some of the city council people of other cities and stuff. Just whoa.
It's no wonder that they're all canceling their contracts.
The guy really shot himself in the foot.
But certainly those people that kind of advocate for Flock safety, like Sonia Brunner, her council member here in the city of Santa Cruz, they seem to believe that we really have control over our data at the local level. We don't.
That's so sad.
Because this technology really depends on the secret sauce, and the secret sauce is in the cloud.
Yes,
and it's not in our cloud. It's in Flock Safety's cloud, and we cannot trust it, no matter how many safeguards that or assurances we're given by by Flock Safety. And of course our police, Escalante, he basically can only say what he's told, and so if he's given incorrect information, he's being misled along with the rest of us. Right,
and he can only control it so far. He can access that data, but again, where is that data being stored? Is it stored on a server that's sitting in Capitola PD, that's sitting at Santa Cruz PD? No, it's not. If it was doing that would be a completely different thing, a completely different issue, but that's not how it works. And when I see people when I see officials that say that they're for this kind of stuff, all I see to them, I don't see them being malicious towards the community. I don't see them being malicious towards all I see is someone who doesn't understand.
Exactly.
I see someone who doesn't get it, who doesn't see the danger in what they're doing and what they have and what we have here and how it can be exploited and used in a nefarious, negative way. Even all the positives. It just shows me that there's still people who really don't get it. And with that listen, when I listen to Fred there, Fred gets it. I heard that I hear him understanding what is going on. And unfortunately, the person that had that counter resolution or whatever you call it, it's that they need to go back to school. They need to learn. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and and there was another council member that also kind of considers themselves kind of a technologist or someone that really a technology enthusiast, and and so she had some comments, but she still went ahead and voted in favor of the proposal to eliminate the flock contract. But here it is. It's history now. It's we're safe for now from the
live news.
Big Brother's license plate scanning eye.
And so that's going to be like you said February or March. Is that
I think the contract I think officially probably ends in March sometime, but we could probably shut everything down 30 days before that March date. So sometime in mid-February.
I wonder if the city installed those, or if they had a contractor come out to install those, or if Flock's going to come back and take them back, or if we take them down and we put them in a box and ship them back to them.
Don't know what the details are there.
Boy, I'm gonna I watch that. I look at those things.
We'll want to know. We'll want to know. Much like what's going on with the Bass and Moss Landing. Like, what was the process in taking all that down, and that there is a huge project as well, and dismantling the mess at Moss Landing. But looks like you have a call.
Yeah, do you want to stick around for a caller here?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Let's see what's going on in the real world. Hello, caller. You're on the air with the Computer Man and Nyanko. How can I help you?
Hey, how's it going, Luigi?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'm just listening to this thing about those freaking Nazi fascist flock cameras. They're here in Salinas, too, in Fresno, everywhere, even in Calexico, over there by the border.
Yeah, man.
They're putting them in the checkpoints right there by 25 miles south of Indio, right there by Salton Sea.
Yeah, it's an easy technology to implement, right? Just throw them up, get them on wireless, get them on the cell phone.
Yeah, this is all because of the Gestapo regime of 2001, when Gestapo and his Patriot Act messed up everything, man. It's like, what the hell, man? This is an Orwellian state, man.
Yeah, but this is a step in a right direction here. You're absolutely right. Salinas, Watsonville. I think a lot of communities are waking up to this, and what's good. It's great to see that Santa Cruz has stepped forward, and literally this was just a few hours ago. What time did that happen at?
Well, I could look at the timestamps on the files here, and then that was around 5:30.
So that was just happened.
Yeah,
45 minutes ago.
5:30. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't like this stuff because you don't know who has that information, and then only that, and on that information, it can lead to identity theft, and not only that, but the stuff they do at the borders and airports, when they take your picture and stuff, you don't know where all that information goes. They could even do identity theft, like credit card fraud and stuff, and I'm really against all this stuff.
Yeah, it's rough.
I'm hoping Salinas wakes the hell up and they start doing the same thing, because they're all over the city and they're annoying. I don't like that garbage.
It's creepy, dude.
To me, it's fascism. And I hope that one day they take them off. But I've seen people, I don't know when, but right there by Laurel, in Salinas, right there by the soccer complex. I work in that area right there by the county, right there off of Laurel Drive. And I saw a flock camera. They knocked the solar panel off it like a couple months ago. I don't know who did it, but like,
oh no,
they knocked it down, and then someone like flipped it around, like not looking towards the cars. Like, I think people are going rogue. That's why I'm glad they're doing this kind of stuff, because this is not good.
Yeah, man. Well, if you go to the website, there's deflock.me. So DEFLOCK deflock.me. If you go to deflock.me, the website, it'll show they have it says 67,426 cameras that are logged, and you can look at the map. So you can type in your address, you can type in a map to go from place to place and see how many cameras are along the way, and see where they are in your community.
I see them around in the city of Fresno. I go out there in the valley, and they're all right there on Blackstone and Ashland and Holland, and that whole Blackstone strip right there, that whole section right there. They're like on top of the poles. They're right there on by the aisles, and I've seen them even down in Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, down in the San Fernando Valley, and in over there by what's called Los Baños. There's one right there on Pacheco and what's called the first entrance coming from Fresno to Los Baños right there. There's two of them coming looking towards east and west on both sides of 152. And then in San Francisco, there's one on the Mission District right there on Van Ness and 16th, I believe, and also on Mission and 16th, I believe.
Wow.
There's one right there in the Mission District, Potrero Hill. They're all over the place, man. I'm just hoping they take them down, because they're not. Even though back then, before all this stuff, criminals get caught. There were other types of cameras that were invasive, and now with the shot spotter, you can find who done it and stuff. It's just this is just counterproductive. It's not helping. It's just making it to a point that's everything like a totalitarian fascist state, and I don't like that. I hate that stuff.
Did you hear about the shot? That system that listens for gunshots. They have a new feature now where they're turning it on for voice recognition. I do a beep on that one.
Sorry, I'm not.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
It's a bunch of baloney. It's like, I don't like that stuff.
I hear you, dude.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Isn't it like the Florida police did that? Or something like that. I heard that they're trying to so they could hear people's phones or something, like the software.
Oh, there's all sorts of creepy stuff out there that they can do with that. They have those spider boxes that go in between the telephone towers and stuff. There's technology out there, and everyone goes, oh, well, I'm already being followed with my phone, so what's the big deal with the cameras and stuff? And it's just about with the phone, you have kind of a more of an idea of who's doing it and why. These cameras are there's just no security with them. So
at this point, I think people should just get burner phones or phones that are only that stuff, because or use when you go to those when you watch those mafia documentaries and they show that guy, I really had to do it, or else I was gonna get whacked, and have to use something like that,
Yeah, man.
Because if it's gonna get to that point,
I hear you.
I'm hoping they destroy all this stuff, because we don't need this garbage.
I hope it. Well, we're going to see where this is going. People are waking up. People are understanding. They understand that their data is the most important commodity on the planet right now. It's the most expensive thing you own is your data, and people are getting it. So we're going to see if it wakes up. But we're doing our part here. So
and another thing before I let you go, I don't know if you remember what's called a show back in the 70s called The Rockford Files.
Oh, yeah.
James Garner.
Yeah.
There's an episode it talks about national security and surveillance and stuff. It's called, the episode's The House on Willis Avenue. It talks about how they're using, James Garner said it, you're using computers like clubs to beat on people, they're telling them subtract their rating, their credit score, and beat them down with computer technology as a club. And then he's all like, what is next? Secret police with secret police powers and ex-cops and FBI agents. It's like it was in the 70s, man, and they predicted this stuff, in that episode of the Rockford Files,
Yeah, I mean, rereading 1984 is creepy right now. I've picked it up a couple times and put it down because I've just been a little disgusted.
You should watch that episode of the Rockford.
I wrote it down, dude. I'm going to download it. I'll find it.
Or watching that series, Person of Interest.
Yeah.
That's another great one that talks about AI and surveillance.
Awesome, dude. Well, I really appreciate the call, man. Always good to hear from you.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, dude. Have a good one, man. Take care. All right, bye-bye.
So if people really want to get Flock out of their communities, they have to speak up. They cannot remain silent. And there's some great resources available that were developed right here in Santa Cruz, and that's you go to the gettheflockout.org.
Okay.
That's gettheflockout.org. And there you will find lots of resources and how you can organize to get these surveillance cameras out of your community. And so it'll take action by you, the listener, to participate in government.
That's right. It's a great springboard to really step up and help your community members and get this evasive technology out the door and out of your community. That's gettheflockout.org.
Yes, and we had a great show actually on last night. Our KSQD host George Cadman had a great informational show on Flock with some great experts. So definitely you can find that on our archive. You can find that on our homepage. You can go and you can find that show and you can listen to it and be informed and kind of get the inside scoop on what this is all about.
Was that Talk of the Bay yesterday?
That was on Talk of the Bay, yes.
So just jump onto ksqd.org, click on the listening tab, and then go to our 2-week audio archive. Under the 2-week audio archive, you'll look for yesterday, and you can look at the actual Talk of the Bay at 5 o'clock. Click on it. The show will fire right up, as well as any of our shows on KSQD for the past 2 weeks. It's a really awesome feature. If you want to listen to some music and you want to listen to something right now, boom, jump onto our website, click on the audio archive, and we have 2 weeks of full music, full shows, full everything that we've been doing for the past 2 weeks, and you can listen to it at your heart's content right there.
And if you want to watch it, or rather listen to it on YouTube, you can search for Who's Watching Santa Cruz? Flock Safety, Surveillance, and Public Trust is the title of the audio file, and also the title that you will see on the ksqd.org WordPress.
And stuff is so important just to know how you're being watched and followed. I have my cell phone in my car. I go for a walk, I leave it at home and stuff, but am I being followed in some other way? Am I being seen in some other way? It's just good to know. Inform yourself. Know what these technologies are that you are being bombarded with every single day, and just understand what's going on. We don't need to, no tinfoil hats needed. Just go online and educate yourself. Get the Flock Out is a great place to start. dflock.me. It's a great place to just know where these cameras are and get informed. Nyanko, thank you so much for bringing this to us.
Thank you so much. You carry on with your fabulous show.
All right, we will. We're going to squeeze that in here. All right, let's get back into it here on the Computer Man Show, here on KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid 90.7 FM, and online at ksqd.org. Also, a special thank you to Nyanko for that amazing information. That literally just happened in our city council, so you heard it first here about that, unless you were at the council meeting, that we are going to be canceling those Flock contracts. Thank you, city council. Thank you for listening to the people, and thank you for having the technological mindset to know what's up. So another thing on top of that, since we're Flock-centric tonight, another website, haveibeenflocked.com. Haveibeenflocked.com. Type in your license plate, and it'll show if you have been captured in a data breach that happened with this. So I typed in both my license plate and my partner's license plate. We both have custom license plates. My license plate actually just recently got within the last 4 months, I think. Her license plate's been around since 2016, 2017. So I put hers in thinking that it was going to be seen. No searches found. So she either hasn't gone over the hill very much or hasn't gone to one of the cameras that has been taken over. Or not taken over, but wherever they get this data from. The Have I Been Flocked search here says, let's see if this one goes. Let's see if this has anything on the actual, let's see, recent posts. What are these results? Results are records of searches performed by Flock's customers. The license plates and search results are what somebody manually entered into the system. So it doesn't show when or if your vehicle passed one of the Flock's estimated 90,000 devices, or what was shown in the result. It was just in case someone searched for you. Very interesting. So again, haveibeenflocked.com. That's just in case somebody's looking at the data and looking for your license plate in that data stream. Ugh, creepy. Okay, let's get on. Let's see. What else do we have here? AI PCs are not selling, and Microsoft's PC partners are scrambling. They're freaking out. So there was the Consumer Electronics Show was this week. I actually had tickets. I got tickets from this VR manufacturer. They had heard the show, and they contacted me on Sunday. The CES started on Monday or Tuesday. They contacted me on the Sunday before, 2 days before, and hey, we've got tickets for you if you can get to Vegas. And I was like, I can't. Tickets were not cheap. But I'm like, so I'm gonna see if I can go next year. What would be awesome is to go to the the Consumer Electronics Show and bring you back like a 3 or 4 part show on that show about and what I saw. But one of the things there was that Microsoft is freaking out. Dell actually had this whole thing we're going to talk about in just a minute. But Microsoft is freaking out because the AI PCs are not selling. People are seeing the AI PCs are this agenic. I don't remember. It's basically an AI powered operating system, and the few people that are using them have had horror stories of the AI deleting hard drives, deleting entire files, and going, "Oh, my bad," type responses. It's not something that I would trust. It would be something that I would totally sandbox and try and see, if it would be any good or if it would work or if it might not work. I mean, but I would not do at any route. I would not, put my work on this and actually have it do my work for me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Microsoft's freaking out. No one's using Copilot. No one's buying the AI powered PCs. And they're pushing this idea of Copilot Plus PCs, or these AI PCs, right? And they're basically Windows computers with dedicated neural processing for AI features. So they have this separate thing that they're utilizing the processor for to allow the AI to process on its own and its own little neighborhood on the CPU, right? But the consumer's demands have been weak because nobody wants it. Nobody trusts it. Nobody likes it. Nobody can see what's happening and why we're doing it, right? So no one's going towards it. AI is popular for the things that it kind of does, and everyone else is like, why? What are we doing here? So at CES 2026, Dell, one of Microsoft's key partners, publicly admitted that customers are often confused by AI marketing and that PCs are not being purchased because of the AI features. It's one of those, AI is what it is, right? And it's this draw to having this technology do everything right away, and everyone's jumping on board and just adopting it when it's not in that sphere yet. I wanted to play for you. There was basically a Jason Huang, who is the main person at NVIDIA, had his presentation, and they basically went on, and he was discussing what CES was going to be about. And here's a little clip from that.
AI, that AI, revolution, AI, super AI, that AI model,
There might be
AI model, AI,
like a theme.
AI model, AI model, AI.
Yeah, so that's a 14 seconds of a 1:03 long super cut of him saying it 121 times in his presentation. So AI is one of those things, right? Like, it's literally a thing right now that is so it's okay. So the RAM prices thing, right? We've been hearing about the RAM price. If you're a computer person, you've been seeing how RAM prices have gone through the roof. Micron, I believe it's Micron. I'm almost positive it's off the top of my head, but Micron, I believe, who makes Corsair memory, I believe, or Corsair puts their branded on Micron memory, which is one of the better RAM brands that you can buy. They're just not making consumer memory anymore. They just decided, nope, we've been purchased, and we're not going to be doing that anymore. We've sold all our stuff to AI. So I saw this thing which was pretty straightforward. It said, the reason RAM prices have gone up 4 times is that massive amounts of not yet manufactured memory was bought, right, by basically with money that doesn't really exist yet, to be put into GPUs that haven't been made yet, to be installed in data centers that haven't been built, powered by infrastructure that may never exist, to satisfy demand that isn't actually there in order to generate profits that are mathematically impossible. Right? That's what we're doing here. That's what's going on. That's why graphics cards have gone up. That's why RAM prices have gone up. I mean, you go online, and I have baskets of old memory, right? And it's like 512 megs, 100, 1 gigs, nothing to really write home about, but it's I've had my computer shop for 15 years now, and I had stuff before that. So I've got stuff, and the RAM drawers that I have, holy moly, I'm looking at that stuff going is it now worth money than it before. It really kind of wasn't. And a lot of people are now building these old machines. I'm seeing these old towers going for $400, $500, $600 on eBay. It's nuts. So again, RAM prices going up because these AI data centers and these AI companies are buying the RAM, but it's money that hasn't really been made yet to put those GPUs that haven't really been made yet to install in data centers, haven't been built, powered by infrastructure, et cetera, that we don't really want. So AI is going to do a couple things really well. Like that, again, like I've talked about a couple of these things that work really well. Like if you have like a meeting and you put the AI in the middle of the meeting and it like hears everybody's voice and then it listens to the meeting and then creates like a not only like a transcript, but basically like a bulletin notes of what was said, who said it, why they said it, how long they spoke, et cetera, et cetera. And you can go back and listen to the exact clip. But you can have like the notes, boom, so nothing's missed. That's a great feature for AI, right? And there's many others, but there's a lot of things that AI kind of shouldn't be used or should stay away from them, and that's where we're kind of missing it. So again, Dell's, I had a whole article about Dell's CEO basically going against AI. It was the only thing at that Consumer Electronics Show that actually went against AI. And they said it avoided the usual heavy focus on AI, that it dominated the entire tech event, and instead talked about tangible products and industry issues. I guess the Jeff Clark was there. He's the head of product, and Kevin Terlinger. The COO is Jeff Clark, and then the head of product is Kevin Terlinger, and they both acknowledge that AI-first marketing has not resonated with consumers. They emphasized that buyers are not choosing PCs based on AI features and many find the AI messaging more confusing than helpful, and that's true. People don't really get it. They don't know if they need it. They don't know why they want it. They're like, well, I'm barely holding on with my computer now. I can finally, after 15 years or whatever, I can get to my email, I can get to websites, I can avoid Facebook, I can maybe avoid a scam most of the time. I'm just trying to exist online. And now you throw this AI garbage at me, which can be fun, and you can do fun things with, but it doesn't need to dominate every single... I mean, dude, AI wasn't around 3 years ago. And look at where we are right now. Look at what we've adopted and put together. So it's a nutty thing. It's kind of crazy. And it's happening. So I don't know. Like I'm more about knowing what it is and where it is and how to kind of avoid it, so that if I do want to use it, I can. Because sometimes I'd want to use it. There would be times when I think it would be a good idea to have it. But again, we're just Also, speaking of AI, this is something that you should keep in mind if you have an Amazon account. Amazon is now using the AI feature inside of their customer service, which they've been doing for a while, right? But the feature evidently is auto-approving refunds, and then humans are looking at it or something and then denying those refunds. So you're basically getting told you're getting a refund and then you never get one. So Amazon now uses AI chatbots for their customer service, and it will agree to refunds it can't process. So this person said they ordered some shoes. They received the women's version, that were too small. So they contacted Amazon Chat to request a return pickup without the $7.99 fee, since the error wasn't theirs, and the nearest UPS store is about an hour away round trip. So that's a reason. Okay, so the chat agent, the bot, agreed to a free pickup and even showed a refund breakdown where it credited the UPS label and the pickup and everything. And they said they chose the Amazon credit for the total, assuming they would just use it anyway the next time, right? When they went to place their next order, they noticed the gift card balance was $8 short. The return label fee had been deducted from the refund anyways, and it took additional chats to get it corrected. And usually, and Amazon made it right. But, the $8 is not a big deal, not a big thing, but it was something that the first line of your customer service, which happened to be the last line as well, because they didn't have to talk to anybody else until they found out that this was wrong, said they were going to do something and then just didn't do it. That has been the hallmark of AI. That is what AI does. That's the whole thing where you get AI and it's like, okay, I'm going to upload this sheet with 20 numbers on it, all less than 100, let's say. And I say, okay, AI, I just uploaded a sheet to you. Can you please look at column 5? Take those 20 numbers and give me the average. It says the average is 3,417. You're like, all those numbers were less than 100, and I needed the average of all those numbers, which also should most likely be less than 100. And you gave me a number that's 3,000. That is wrong. Did you open the file? And it goes, haha, you caught me. I couldn't open the file, so I just made up numbers. And that's what AI does. AI is the ultimate yes man at this point. It is basically that thing that allows you to be empowered by wrongness sometimes, and it will double down on how right your wrong answer is. And so, again, AI is a tool. AI is not perfect. AI can get a lot wrong. And if I get one of those AI overview answers, I just do a quick search. I look at what the links are. I look at see where the sources are coming from, because you can do that. And I just make sure that they're close and they're right, and there's something that is tangible. So it's some wrong thing from Reddit, 5 years ago or 8 years ago or whatever. So, okay, well, if I missed your call tonight again, we were at the end of another Computer Man show. Love all of you. Next week, it looks like it's going to be show 350. My goodness. If I missed your call tonight, you can always reach me by email, luigi@pleasurepointcomputers.com. Of course, always luigi@ksqd.org, but I checked the other one more. luigi@pleasurepointcomputers.com. Remember, tune in the Computer Man show Tuesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KSQD. K-Squid, 90.7 FM, and online at ksqd.org. I'd like to thank all my listeners and my callers. Thank you, KSQD, Sandy Stone, Harold Felstein, Richard Gibbing, Jeffrey Gibbing, John Sanders, all Santa Cruz, Nikola Tesla, the Wasp, Mr. Casey, Torvalds, and of course, the humble Electron. Thank you again, Santa Cruz. I'm your Computer Man here on KSQD, K-Squid, 90.7 FM, and online at ksqd.org.